Welcome to the first episode of series of videos related to service. Have you ever wondered about the necessity of preventive maintenance, stock parts, service done by experts rather than your own personnel, or remote service which would be always ready? Hi, my name is Antti Määttä. I work at Mekitec as a service manager in EMEA region. In this video, I want to talk about service, particularly concentrating on food industry. In this video, we will take some examples of different scenarios and calculate simple calculations which you can refer when you are planning your service in your factory. Let's dive into our first example. You are a food producer, you have one X-ray machine. This machine is HACCP classified, which means basically that you cannot run it as a normal conveyor. You need to run the products with scanning with the X-ray. You are producing a candy bar. This candy bar costs you around 0.1 euros, or 10 cents. You are producing at 60 bars per minute, and your production goal is 100%. You are producing with 2 shifts and 5 days a week. Decision was made beforehand that you will concentrate to have your own personnel taking care of everything. So no expert is called in unless you have a real issue. It's Monday morning at the start of production. The machine refuses to start. Maintenance is called in. The personnel checks the machine and they suspect that the issue is part X. At this point, time has gone around 30 minutes. Now, we have a question. Do you have this part in stock? And is this part actually the reason for the issues? Now, decision was made beforehand that you will not take any parts to your local stock. Maintenance personnel needs to call the expert at this point because they are not certain is the part X the real reason. Due to Y reasons, it takes around 30 minutes to get the call in to the expert. Now, through extend instructions via phone, conclusion is that the issue actually could be the part X. But the reason could be also part Z, so we are not certain at this point. At this point, lost production cost comes to 360 euros. So if we calculate 0.1 euros times 60 bars per minute, and that's 1 hour. Expert visit is needed. For 1, verify the issue, 2, deliver the parts, and 3, fix the issue. Now, in this scenario, the arrival of the expert takes around 4 hours. So when the expert arrives, it has already meant 5 hours in total from the start of the issue and then when the expert arrives. Now when we do the calculation, that comes to around 1,800 euros lost production cost. Expert goes in for the work, verifies the issue, fix the issue, and then test runs, and then we can start the production again. Overall, 6 hours have went now. Let's calculate the end invoice or costs for this scenario. It took the expert 1 hour to do the work, 8 hours of traveling back and forth. That's around 740 euros in this example. The part, which was the issue, if it was the X part, that costs 2,000 euros. So the end invoice from the provider is 2,740 euros. But we need to also consider the lost production costs. So when we do the calculation, 0.1 euros per par times 60 bars per minute times 6 hours. That comes to a total of 2,160 euros. Now, when we add to that to the end invoice from the provider, 2,740 euros, the end cost for everything was 4,900 euros. We have also points we need to consider. For example, the lost work hours from the personnel, delay to the deliveries of the product, etc. But for this example, we leave those out. This obviously is not the perfect situation where the factory wants to end. Now imagine if the expert cannot arrive straight away. It takes until next day for the expert to arrive to the factory. Now, remember our machine was HACCP classified X-ray, so we cannot deliver the products until we have scanned the product with the X-ray. Now remember, we had production goal of 100%, 2 shifts per day, so 16 hours. Let's calculate the lost production cost for this scenario. So 0.1 euros per part, 60 parts per minute, 60 minutes, so 1 hour times 16 hours. That comes to a lost production cost of 5,760 euros. That is already twice more than the actual invoice from the provider. Now imagine if the part cannot be delivered the next day. It takes 1 week, let alone 2 weeks to arrive. Already our lost production cost is several times more than the actual part. What can we do to avoid this lost production cost? We can tackle this issue with 4 options. 1. Preventive maintenance. 2. Service done by our experts. 3. Remote service. And 4. Stock parts. Now, let's take our first example. Let's say the part X had symptoms which could have been detected during a yearly service visit by the expert. Decision was made that okay, let's change the part as a preventive maintenance during that visit. Let's compare to the first scenario. What could have been changed, saved? 1. Work hours, the travel, so that was 740 euros. And then of course the lost production cost, which was 2,160 euros. Total sum 2,900. Already saving more than the actual part by 900 euros. Not all issues can be detected beforehand. What can we do then? Factory personnel have a hard time to remember all of their machines in the line, how this machine works and how this machine works. You could dedicate personnel for the particular machines, but are you certain that they are always available when the issue comes? And second reason, what if the personnel decides to change the company? The expertise of different machines, it's not so easy to maintain. Now, we have the third option, remote service. With that, expert can connect to the machine and start analyzing the issue straight away when the issue occurs. Let's calculate an example. Let's say it takes 15 minutes for the expert to connect to the machine. Another 30 minutes to verify that 100% the part X is the issue. Now, we would start to investigate how long the delivery of the part takes. But let's say in this example, decision was made beforehand to take extend local stock option. And we have now the part X in the stock. Factory personnel can change the part, and now it takes around 15 minutes to change it. So overall, we had lost production cost of 360 euros, so 60 minutes. Compared to the 6 hours in the first example, 2,160 euros. Let's summarize what we have learned today. By relying solely on your factory personnel to maintain the X-ray machines, you can save the invoices created by the provider. But if the circumstances are not in your favor, the lost production cost can be several times more than the actual service provided by the experts. When choosing to maintain your X-ray machines regularly by experts, choosing to act proactively rather than reactively via preventive maintenance, choosing the insurance of fast troubleshoot via remote services, and choosing local stock of critical parts, you as a food producer can maximize your production, ensure your products into the shelves on time and free from foreign objects. Head to mekitec.com/service and check out how Mekitec can provide you these services and ask a quotation for you. Thank you for listening.